Hey, today I'm going to be doing some beekeeping, but primarily harvesting some honey, and we'll be extracting honey today. And I'm going to introduce to you a couple of products that I've discovered, and we're going to try to make honey extraction a bit easier here on the homestead. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hanson. I am out in the bee yard, and I'm going to be using a couple of products today that I'll introduce them to you. This actually is a one-way bee gate. It allows bees to go out, but will not allow them to go in. You have a hole right here where the bees will enter in through, and then they exit through here or here, and you'll see inside of there's a couple of wires that allows the bee to go out but not back in. And I'll show you how to apply that. I'm also using, instead of smoke, because the fire danger is so incredibly high right now, I'm not going to be using smoke. I went online and I used some of this product, and when I first started beekeeping, I love it. I found this product. It's Fisher's Bee Quick. You spray it on the top part of the hive, close the lid for a couple minutes, and it clears all the bees out of that upper chamber where that odor is. So primarily, we want to get them out of the honey super. So there's two ways I'm going to show you on how to get bees off the honey supers so you can harvest your honey. Now, not too long ago, I showed you guys a disaster. I tried harvesting honey. I saw people on YouTube that would do it outdoors, so I figured, I'll do it outdoors too. It seems like the right thing to do. I know these honeybees, they came after all that honey. I managed to salvage out of 8 frames, 8 jars of honey. So this year we're going to do it inside, and that's why I renovated the RV I had gifted to me. And we're going to use the kitchen in the RV to screen us off from the bees, and I'm going to do it in peace this time. But I want to show you how to apply this little product right here. These hives are empty, so I can just show you for the purposes of demonstration. These are your brood chambers, these deeps, which occupy where all the business is happening with the honeybees. The queen lives in these areas. She'll lay her brood. They'll set up some more honey and pollen in here. And then usually on top, you usually set a queen excluder right here and a honey super. And then you'll introduce your inner cover and your telescoping cover. Now that's the anatomy of a beehive, including your frames. You notice that the honey super is a little bit shallower than the deeps. That's why they call them deeps, and then honey supers. Anyway, we're going to take, and I'll show you how to get honeybees out of the honey. So take your telescoping cover and put this on your telescoping cover. That's all it is. You just push it face down. And you make sure there's rooms for the bees to climb out of there, because they'll be exiting through here and entering in through here. Now, to get them out of the honey super is we're going to set the honey super aside for a minute, and we're going to put the inner cover on top of the brood chambers, and then we'll set the honey super on top of that inner cover. And now any bee that's on here, as they go down into the main hive to go out forage and whatever, they won't be able to get back in. They'll just have to find comb down below to lay up their honey that they've harvested. In the meantime, I'm going to leave this for a couple of days. We'll put the telescoping cover back on here. And then after a couple of days have passed, there'll be no bees in here, so we can safely take our frames that are full of honey and then carry them over to our honey extraction area. So that's that product I wanted to show you guys and use today on one of the hives, but the other hives I'm going to go ahead and use that spray. I got my bin ready to put the honey frames in and cover them and get them away from the bees. So I have it in my garden cart because it's going to be heavy, so I can take it over to where I'm extracting bees. Before I get started, I need to suit up. I'll be right back. Okay, with this hive, I only have 2 hives, or actually 4 hives with honey supers on them. So we're going to extract honey from the spray here, and we're going to put this new cover with this one-way gate on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this. Okay. I'll set this aside. Oh, they have that glued down really good. Okay, I'll put that one-way gate on. Put this honey super back on. And put this back on. Now I'll be back in a couple of days and we'll go ahead and extract the honey out of that one. In the meantime, let's go ahead and grab the honey out of here and we'll use the spray. They didn't even build that out. These frames are empty. No wax. Nope. No wax at all in here. Not built out at all. These girls are lazy. Well, that was disappointing. I harvested all the honey out of there a couple of weeks ago, so I kind of wouldn't expect any. Let's see how well these bees are doing. Just take a peek. See if they got any honey for me. There's only 2 frames filled out, so I'm not going to expect any honey out of here this year either. Maybe next year. We'll take the honey supers off here in a little bit, and we'll just reduce them down to their brood chambers for the winter. Okay, I'm going to try splitting a hive here. Okay, I'm doing what they call checkerboarding. You put an empty frame between full frames, and it helps the colony be able to grow out a little bit faster, have more room to grow. And it also stops the sense of overcrowding and wanting to swarm. We do not want our bees to swarm. So this honey extraction episode has turned into a hive splitting episode. There, I've got one split hive. We're keeping it at one chamber so they have a chance to grow it out and maintain the health of their colony with a smaller space. This colony is a little bit larger. It's thriving. I'm gonna go ahead and set this up here. The bees should find their way home. That box is empty. I'm not looking for honey production from my hives this late in the year. Not this year. Okay, so I did manage to split the hive. We'll keep an eye on that one over the next week and see how well it grows. The other hives, I do have to start working and getting them ready for the winter months. And I do have plans to build a shed to move all the beehives into, and I'm going to build it right back here. I've got my resource pile. I can glean as much as I can from that so it won't cost me any money. And that way it protects them from the moisture, and it also keeps them warmer to help them thrive throughout the winter months. Now all I have left to do is start feeding the bees because we're getting to the dirge, and also doing my mite control and bug applications. Yep, taking all the honey supers off on the next episode and get everything ready for the dirge to set them up for feeding. No honey today. Sorry about that, folks, but I did get 8 jars of honey out of one of bees. Still haven't checked the flow hive. We'll go check that in another episode. Stay tuned for that. You can give us a thumbs up, like the show, share our videos on your social media platforms, helps us out. Leave a comment, and also be safe and always be kind. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye now.